Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. You see, the Total War Warhammer series, much like many other games in Creative Assembly at the moment, do have a bit of a content drought. This on average can vary between 3 to 6 months between DLC releases for any of the main titles. And it's only natural that we'll experience a content drought between that time, more specifically a while after the newest DLC has been released. This can see some players getting frustrated from lack of news, or even burning out on the series. Even I as a content creator can find the lack of news rather frustrating, if I'm honest about it. I'm a fan of the series just like you guys are, so obviously I want to see more and more content being released to keep us busy, especially during the current climate, which sees many of us working from home or spending a lot more time at home than we're used to. In this video, I don't want to discuss the current content drought, but instead what I want to do for this video is talk about 5 ways that you can keep yourself busy during a content drought. This video is not just for current times, but obviously for the future too, whether or not we get more DLC for Warhammer 2, or we have to wait for the release of Warhammer 3. So without further ado, let's begin. Our 5th spot is rather simple. Check out the races and factions you never try. Total War Warhammer is an absolutely massive game, and with each DLC release it's getting bigger and bigger. There are obviously a few different races and factions which you might not be too good at, it's understandable. Mastering them all can take a bit of time, but this might be the perfect time for you to do so. You can either try out a race or faction combination which you've never tried before, or start to play ones which you've tried but given up on early campaigns, as you may or may not have found them either boring or just too difficult to play through. Say for example that Belegar campaign which you've had there since the Immortal Empires were released and you've not touched since. Obviously the dwarves have received a minor rework since, why not give that a try and see if now you're more up to scratch? Or maybe play a race that you're very much used to, say for example the Lizardmen, but play a lord which you don't really play, for example Tehenowin, who has a primarily skink build focus. This is the time for you to try out different playstyles and see if anything else catches your eye. Our 4th spot is very similar to the 5th, since we are aware that the next coming DLC will rework the Wood Elves to bring them more in line with the races of Warhammer 2, why not give them another try in their current state? This might be the last time that you can do so, unless you go back to Warhammer 1 of course. But you might as well give them another try before they get their rework, and you will feel a bit more appreciative when it eventually does come. Just for example, I did a playthrough of the Greenskins before the Warden of the Paunch was released, and eventually when I got my access to the Warden of the Paunch, I felt really appreciative that this was coming to light, especially since I already had been speculating regarding the rework and some things were not going to be added. However, comparing the Greenskins as how they were to how they are now, I felt much more content with their current state. Think of it like leaving that old toxic relationship and starting a fresh new one with someone better. Probably not the best analogy, but I guess you guys probably know what I mean. Next is probably the most obvious choice, but you'd be surprised how many people actually only play vanilla. Mod your game out, mod it to high heavens and break your game multiple times. There are so many incredible modders in the Total War Warhammer community, either making their own factions, their own overhauls and so on. You won't be lacking in terms of unofficial content. Just to give a few highlights on great mods, you've got the SFO Grimhammer series which completely overhauls the game altogether, Katath's Southern Realms, which gives you access to completely new factions in the form of Talia, Estalia, the Border Princes and more, or just general mods that you can find there. There are so many different modders working on so many different things. Honestly, if I just stayed here listing it, we could be here for days. I've been highlighting mods on the channel recently, and there are just so many good ones that I could literally make a video a day on this and still not run out of possible content. Given the fact that these content droughts last for so long, these mods themselves, once updated, are stable until the next release of DLC. So there's plenty of time for you to mess around with your game, and not only see how many mods your game can run, but see how you can transform your gaming experience with just a few simple clicks here and there. For our next spot, we have try some challenges. Challenges for different video games have always existed since gaming became so popular. In some cases there is content droughts, or maybe just people want to be punishing towards themselves. You all heard of Iron Man challenges specifically for MMOs, World of Warcraft for example, and so on. But there's also different things that you can do in the Total War Warhammer series to challenge yourself to keep you busy. We're going to talk about a few examples, and these aren't really all of them, and I myself am actually working through a few of them for possible future videos. You can do a challenge with any race and faction where you could decide to try and win a campaign using only lords and heroes, no units whatsoever. This can be either quite easy or quite difficult depending on which race and faction combination you decide to pick. Or if you want to be an absolute glutton for punishment, why not try the Skaven challenge? With this challenge you can pick any of the playable Skaven legendary lords. However, you're only allowed to recruit Skaven slaves. That means no heroes and no other units. If you want to make this even harder, well, there's different things that you can do. You can decide that this could only be in legendary mode. And if you wanted to kick it up a notch, you could decide, well, maybe not use any other mechanics. Hey, I didn't say this was going to be easy, but then again, it shouldn't be easy. Obviously, the usual thing is a speedrun. See how quickly you can finish the game in a different set of difficulties. You can decide here either the short campaign, long campaign, or paint the map. And hey, if none of these challenges suit you, well, you can think one up for yourself, or even talk to the members of the community and see which one might be of interest if they have any ideas. And lastly, well, it's simple, take a break. You don't always have to be playing the Total War Warhammer series. Many new games have been coming out recently, such as Crusader Kings 3, Medieval Dynasties and so on, or perhaps you just want to wait for the release of Baldur's Gate 3, which should be any time now. Maybe you could even revisit some of your older games which hold a special place in your heart, any childhood games that you might find on Good Old Games, or well, just anything that you play every now and then, just to scratch that itch. Or, you know, if you have a Steam account, it's very likely that you have many games that you've bought because of a sale or so on, and you've never even played. Why not give them a try? Trust me, I'm not calling anyone out here. If anything, I'm calling myself out. I have so many games on Steam, and the majority of them have 0 hours, or not even a single minute played on them. Yep, I'm one of those guys too. But I wanted to take the time to make this video because, well, I'm in the same place as you. Honestly, even as a partnered creator, I do feel the content drought too. My primary interest is Total War Warhammer, naturally as the Great Book of Grudges is a Warhammer-centric channel. But you know what I've decided to do? I've decided to spend time in the content drought looking at other games which are from my past. Primarily Warhammer games. As you are aware, I stream Mordheim every Monday, but I've also been looking at good old games for Marks of Chaos, Tau Fire Warrior and stuff like that. Maybe they'll become future content in the channel, or maybe I'll just play them for fun by myself without streaming or making content. Either way, I know I'm enjoying myself. I'm assuming since we've already received content for Three Kingdoms and Troy, it won't be long till the content drought is over for Total War Warhammer, but even then we might as well enjoy ourselves whilst we wait. But now my question to you guys, what do you guys do in regards to content droughts in the Total War Warhammer series? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and let's start a bit of a discussion. Maybe we can bounce ideas off each other or inspire someone else who's currently lacking and suffering from the drought. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.